You're listening to the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast.
What is up, everybody? You are checking out the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, The Hot Commodity, and I'm joined by my own hot commodity.
What's up?
His name is Ant as well, but I call him a Huffalump.
Yeah.
And we are covering the final stop before WWE Backlash, WWF SmackDown. Why did I say WWF? I feel like I'm in Attitude Years. WWE Friday Night SmackDown live on May 9th, 2025 in Dayton, Ohio. I feel like WrestleMania was like a week ago, so it's weird that we already have another pay-per-view coming up, but
It's been like 3 weeks.
2, maybe 3. No, you're right, 3. But no, it was 2 weeks because WrestleMania was the 20th, the 19th and 20th, and now we're on the 10th of May. But anyways, more wrestling, so who can
20 days.
I just don't look forward to all the commercial breaks during the pay-per-view tonight. I'm not going to want to see that. But yes, Backlash is going to take place today, which is May 10th, 2025, in St. Louis, Missouri, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time.
There's only 5 matches.
5 matches. And
That's a small card.
Yeah. I might try to do a TikTok live doing, and maybe even doing like a video too of a quick, you wanted to do predictions, but possibly we'll see. We'll see how we go. I'll give you the...
Do you have a TikTok for this?
Mm-hmm. That's what it is. That's what my TikTok is.
Uncensored Pro Wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Uncensored Pro Wrestling.
Have you posted anything on it before?
Mm-hmm. Oh. So yeah. So.
But now you can go live.
Now I can go live. Mm-hmm. So we have a tag match to open SmackDown. LA Knight and Damian Priest taking on Solo Sikoa and the WWE United States Champion Jacob Fatu.
People are really hating on Solo and like talking about how sucky he is in the ring and that he like really offers nothing right now. And I kind of agree.
Well,
I've never thought he was a great wrestler. I think his finisher is so dumb.
He was never really given an opportunity to really, because wow, his whole storyline was based on Roman, right? So it's like,
yeah, but he had a good 2 months where he was the head of the bloodline and could have.
Well, while he was the head, the whole time we were thinking, when is Roman coming back to beat him? What I mean is, like, he's never had like a storyline where it's just been about him trying to get something. It's always been him working with the Tongas, or him helping Roman, or him now with Jacob. Like when he was in NXT, he was NXT champion. He had like, but now that's been bloodline related. That's all his character has been. So we haven't really seen him get to do anything that's not with Roman. And if has to do with
was
Roman.
he good in NXT?
Yeah, he was like a Jacob Fatu before Jacob Fatu. Like people thought he was like, you know, kind of not crazy, but you know, yeah, like dangerous and stuff. But now he's kind of just been the Bloodline's bitch, basically. He really hasn't done anything, and I don't think that's his fault. I think it's because for 3 years the whole storyline has been about Roman Reigns with the championship, and now that he's not champion, it's, you know, who's the better superstar, Roman Reigns or Punk? Like there's never. So we'll see. Maybe if he does turn on Jacob, we'll see more of him. But I do agree, he doesn't really give much right now. But during the match, LA Knight hits an elbow drop to Jacob Fatu and then lands a power slam. LA Knight climbs to the top rope, but Damian Priest tags himself in. Damian goes to choke slam Jacob, but LA Knight tags himself in as well. And then Solo pushes LA Knight into Damian Priest, but LA is able to counter with a BFT. And LA Knight and Damian Priest get the win. After Damian and LA Knight start to brawl with each other, Jacob Fatu tosses both Priest and LA Knight shoulder first into the ring post, hits hip attacks in the corner to both men. But then Drew McIntyre comes from out of nowhere and hits Jacob Fatu with a Claymore. McIntyre, what did I say?
You like
mumbled,
yeah.
Well, Drew McIntyre hits a Claymore to Fatu and holds up the United States Championship. We got a fatal 4-way, Jacob Fatu defending against LA Knight, Damian Priest, and Drew McIntyre. And to end this storyline for SmackDown, Drew McIntyre holds the U.S. Championship. What'd you think?
I think that LA Knight was kind of being a dick, because the night started out with Damian Priest kind of doing an interview backstage, and LA Knight walked up to him and was like, tomorrow it's everybody on their own, but tonight you have my back, I have yours. And then he just started, hey, you give me dirt, I'm going to give you dirt, and like started mouthing off to him. And he was the first to like Damian was going to do something, and LA Knight slapped him on the back and like tagged himself in. And he was kind of like being the aggressor and like kind of being a prick. So I don't. Yeah,
I hate to talk shit, but LA Knight just doesn't do it for me. I really don't think he.
And like that's what I totally agree with you. And like last night, like when he was like doing that, I'm just like, oh, first of all, you don't do it at all, and now you're being a little prick.
Yeah.
So, like, fuck you. Like you suck.
I feel like it would be better because like, look at the wrestlers.
People are gonna like you going, yeah, like you're corny.
You have Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre, Jacob Fatu, and then it's LA Knight.
Yeah, all three of them are like awesome.
Big
like
powerhouse.
Some of the best.
He just feels out of place in this.
Yeah.
We see R-Truth backstage with a sign for John Cena. Remember, John Cena is R-Truth's childhood favorite wrestler. Jimmy Uso tells R-Truth that Cena sucks, but Truth isn't hearing it. He is still for
his
John Cena.
childhood hero, you know?
He represents him.
He was watching him when he was 5 years old with little Jimmy.
Sure was. Chelsea Green and the Secret Hervis are holding a vigil for the Women's United States Championship inside Nick Aldis's office. And United States Women's Champion Zelina Vega confronts the two. And they're like, you have no friends. And Zelina's like, well, why don't we do a tag match and I'll find a friend tonight. So we've got Chelsea Green and Piper Niven with Alba Fire against United States Women's Champion Zelina Vega and her partner, Alexa Bliss. And we see a bit of Bliss tonight, so we'll talk about all that. I popped when she came back. I love Bliss. She's from Ohio, so, you know, a good way to bring her back. Zelina hits a double 619 at both Piper and Chelsea for a 2 count. Bliss drop kicks Chelsea Green while she's in a tree of woe and lands a twisted Bliss, but Piper stops the pin. Zelina hits a code red to Piper and a Meteora to Piper on the floor. And then Bliss hits Chelsea Green with his sister Abigail, and Alexa Bliss and Zelina Vega get the win here. They looked good.
I like
the kick, right code red, yeah. They did good in this tag match here. They're both tiny and they're both great wrestlers. So, what'd you think?
Yeah, I think Alexa Bliss is a little better than Zelina, to be honest. I have trouble watching matches with Zelina Vega. I like her, but you can tell like how weak she is. Like she's not strong, and you could tell like the other wrestler has to kind of really sell and like her matches aren't very believable to me.
Okay.
But I like her though. I really do. And
and Alexa Bliss is my Woman Crush Wednesday, Woman Crush Monday, Tuesday, every day.
Yeah,
because she's just great in my eyes. Oh, shut up, Alexa. That was Alexa.
Yeah, we weren't talking about you. Yeah, I watched the on Peacock. There's a show. My son or daughter is a WWE superstar, and one of them is about Alexa Bliss, and it's really cool. And she like went through a lot. She had an eating disorder, and she was hospitalized for it. And then she got better, and then she went to college and had a problem again. And like she really went through a lot, and her parents are really cool and supportive with her. And I really liked her story. So you should definitely check that out on Peacock. It's called My Son or Daughter is a WWE Superstar.
Okay. Well, definitely check that out. But that was a good tag match. We see Santos Escobar talking to Rey Fenix backstage, and then Los Garza attack him, which will lead to a tag match later on. Charlotte Flair comes out, and we haven't seen Charlotte since she lost to Tiffany at WrestleMania 41. Charlotte says, I'm coming off the greatest WrestleMania's women's match of all time, which I disagree.
Oh.
She asks the fans, why are you so disrespectful to me? I'm the GOAT. If you continue, I'll leave and never come back. They are chanting for her to leave. She goes, I'll give you one more chance, Dayton. They still boo. So she throws the mic down, goes to leave, and as she's leaving, Jade Cargill comes out for her number 1 Contenders match. They look at each other. Charlotte leaves. Charlotte goes to leave the arena, but Alexa Bliss stops her and says, "Let's chat." I wonder what that is about. So Charlotte wants to leave. Bliss is like, "Let's chat." Do you think she wants to kind of work with her? Like, what do you think this is?
I don't know.
This is interesting because Bliss doesn't do this.
Yeah, and like Bliss is supposed to be like going to Wyatt's. Like, I don't know. But yeah, and but with Charlotte, like you said a couple weeks ago, like you're supposed to be the queen, and you're out there. Oh, if you're not nice to me, I'm gonna leave. Like, what do you think they're gonna say? Like, duh.
Well, people keep talking about how like she's very different than Becky. I was listening to Getting Over the podcast, and they were saying how like it's sort of similar the rivalry with Becky and Tiffany. I'm sorry, Charlotte and Tiffany and Becky and Lyra, where like they're kind of like young, up and coming, and it's like they're fighting the best. But the difference was like when Becky had her thing with Lyra, Becky drops the mic and lets Lyra talk, and then they have her thing. When Charlotte and Tiffany did their promo, Charlotte kept interrupting and like didn't let Tiffany have that moment. So people keep saying that Charlotte is not someone who will really try to bring up other people. She's all about her.
I could totally see
Which
that.
she's done that before when they had the title change where Becky and Charlotte were supposed to swap titles and she dropped it. Like Charlotte kind of really does go business for herself, whereas Becky did was like, all right, I'm gonna drop the mic, let Lyra say what she has to say. When Tiffany was doing it, Charlotte kept interrupting and kept like, you don't need to always interrupt and do that to get people to remember you. But what do you really think, though, really quick, Bliss and Bliss and Charlotte are going to be? Oh, also, Jade Cargill tells Charlotte, you had your chance, now head to the back of the line. That was also important, too.
Yeah. Well, my first thought was maybe tag team. But nobody can really fight for the tag team championships for a month till Liv comes back. So maybe they're just going to be buddies and not a faction, but maybe they're just going to be a little team together and go after.
We'll see.
I just don't get it because only one of them can be champion. So I don't know.
We'll see. Speaking of champions, Tiffany Stratton, the women's champion, comes out for this next match, the number one contenders, Jade Cargill versus Nia Jax. During the match, Naomi comes out and attacks Tiffany Stratton on the floor, which causes Jade to get distracted, allowing Nia to hit an annihilator, and Nia Jax is now the number one contenders for the women's championship against Tiffany again.
But I was glad it was Nia and not Jade.
Yeah. They were chanting to Nia, you can't wrestle during this match.
I know.
And you said, I hope it's guarded toward Jade.
Yeah, because Jade can't wrestle, so I don't get it. And I would think, the fans should know that Nia's the better one. She is.
That match will probably take place on Saturday night's main event between Nia and Tiffany. Mm-hmm. Tag Team Champion Street Profits come out, but Fraxiom interrupt them, and they're like, we're sorry for interrupting you. We have a lot of respect. We just were told by Shawn Michaels to take any opportunity that comes our way. We want a match against you guys. And the Profits are like, you guys don't deserve it. You've only been here for 2 weeks. That's when Nick Aldis makes a non-title tag match. So we got Fraxiom versus the Street Profits here. Axiom super kicks Montez Ford in the ribs, and we have the super Spanish fly while Frazier hits a Phoenix Splash to Angelo Dawkins for a 2 count. And then Fraxiom land a Catapulta in finale to Ford, and Fraxiom defeat the tag team champions in a non-title match after the Profits and Fraxiom shake hands. What do you think?
Yeah, it was good. The Street Profits were kind of really laying on that Montez was hurt. Like, that was the
From
reason
the TLC
they lost.
match.
Which I get. Like, they're the tag team champions. They don't want to lose straight. So, but I don't think it really took anything away from Fraxiom. So.
No, and I think when they do have a tag match for the title, it will be really good.
Yeah.
Nia Jax tells Tiffany Stratton backstage not to worry about Naomi, and then Tiffany's like, well, you'll just be joining the loser table with Charlotte Flair after I beat you.
Toodles.
Yep. Carmelo Hayes with The Miz taking on Aleister Black next. Aleister lands a moonsault to Carmelo Hayes on the floor. Carmelo accidentally hits The Miz, and then Black rolls up Carmelo Hayes for the win after Aleister Black hits Black Mass to The Miz. So Black is taking care of both of these guys on his own.
Yeah, and so far he's undefeated. Mm-hmm. I really like him a lot. I like watching him wrestle.
Oh!
And I'm excited to see what he's going to do.
I was a big Aleister Black fan when he was first. And AEW, he was good too. He had the House of Black. He had all of that. But he's cool. Moving on. Jacob Fatu tells Solo Sikoa backstage that he's on his own in the U.S. title match at Backlash, which is definitely planting some seeds between Jacob and Solo down the line. We then see Rey Fenix and Andrade defeat Los Garza after Rey hits Adios Amigos and Andrade hits the message. They get the victory after Santos Escobar pushes Berto, and Berto leaves Santos and Angel in the ring. So seeds being drawn that these two are going to break up. What do you think of Andrade and Rey Fenix teaming together? I thought that Rey and Penta were going to team down the line, so it's weird that maybe Andrade is going to turn on Rey.
Maybe. I've heard that Penta and him they're going to put them together very soon. So.
Yeah. Decent Lucha Libre style match here on SmackDown.
Yeah, it wasn't anything awesome.
No, but it was there. Next, WWE Champion John Cena comes out and someone throws a beer bottle at him and he uses it to pick it up and toss it to the floor.
Now, it does make sense, and I'll tell you why, that was somebody planted. Because if you watch, when you go to and I know this because when we went to the show in Bridgeport at NXT, I got a beer there. And when you get a beer at a wrestling show, they pour it in a cup. They don't give you the bottle. And that guy had a bottle. And if you watch, think about like all the stuff we watch, like who was it? R-Truth threw a beer on a dad, and when John Cena was good, and John Cena goes up to the guy, it's in a plastic cup. Mm-hmm. You never see people with bottles.
Okay. Look at this breaking news from the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast by our investigative journalist. I appreciate that. So yeah, maybe it was a plant, but Cena definitely took the opportunity to showcase it. And Cena says, "Tomorrow your childhood dies. Every one of you know how important Backlash is. You'll do everything you can, just like Randy Orton, who's not here tonight. He's home with his family preparing for the biggest moment of his career. I fought Randy Orton for 25 years. We have 31 world championships between us. We both, when you look up Ruthless Aggression, you see both of us. You either choose John Cena or Randy Orton," which was true for us as a kid. For me, that was pretty much what it was.
I saw on a video they showed every match card of John Cena and Randy Orton. I mean, there was like 40 of them.
They fought many times.
There had to be 30 or 40.
Before Cena and Punk, his biggest rival was Randy Orton during that time. I'd say from 2006 to 2014, it was Orton and Cena. Cena says, "I will destroy the history books forever. Randy Orton lies to himself. Orton only has this job because of his last name. He's the greatest of all time of wasting potential. I am all about hustle. Randy Orton thinks working a lot is loyalty. That's just cashing a check. He says he's like furniture. He is. He's a lazy boy. Orton does the bare minimum. I am loyalty. Orton begs for your respect. No one knows who Bob Orton Sr. is. The only thing Bob Orton Jr. did was knock up Randy Orton's mom, and Orton rode my coattails forever. Tomorrow, Randy Orton kills the legend of Randy Orton. He'll be like his 2006 drug test, a failure. He's a mockery of what a WWE wrestler is. I am respect. This is what the last real champion looks like." And then someone comes in wearing a ski mask, who eventually is known as NXT superstar Shawn Spears. They go to hit Cena with an RKO, but Cena counters with an FU. Cena holds up the championship, but then Randy Orton shows up and hits an RKO to John Cena and holds up the WWE title and this could be the ending scene of Backlash with Randy Orton as champion. I don't think that's going to happen, but what do you think of the promo and Orton at the end? And why did they do that whole fake? Like, it was weird that they did that. Like, there was no, like, it was weird. Did, like, Cena hire that person so he could make Orton look dumb? Did Orton send that person in to kind of, like, that's not, like, something Orton would do. Like, yeah, I'm going to try to, you know, it just didn't, it didn't add up.
I thought the same thing. I'm like, what was really the point of that? Because if Randy Orton did the RKO the first time, he probably would have landed it.
Yeah.
Like, that guy wasn't even close to as big as Randy Orton. No. And who was it we saw?
Shawn Spears.
And yeah, he comes up to, like, Randy Orton's shoulders. Mm-hmm. So I didn't get that either. I thought the promo was good. Everything John Cena said was landed good.
Yeah. The drug test failure, that was good.
It was funny. Yeah, definitely. And, you know, his whole scheme, if you think about it, like, you know, I mean, I don't think he's going to succeed, but he, like, everything he says is true. It's always been him versus Randy, and, you know, for longtime wrestling fans, it's a major thing to see them fight for the last time.
I gotta tell you, people, something for you, those of you who are unable to see. I got a really nice looking man
in underwear,
in dark red underwear, and a red t-shirt. And I'm just thinking about all the freaky things I want to do while we're talking about John Cena and Randy Orton. Because in my eyes, he's like Randy Orton. And I'll be John Cena, I guess. Orton's daddy.
You better get your eyes fixed.
John Cena is more like, you know. But anyways, so we've covered the last SmackDown before Backlash. So next.
That was annoying. There was so much dust.
So what we're going to do is we're going to be dropping an Attitude Years episode, and then I might go live on TikTok with Backlash predictions, and
in our underwear.
Maybe in underwear, and I'll put the link to TikTok in the description if you want to check that out. We're just going to try. We'll probably get nobody to watch, and that's okay. We're just starting out, so. But yeah, so we've covered all of SmackDown. We've got Backlash coming your way tonight, so definitely check that out on Peacock. And make sure to subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell on YouTube. You can follow us on Instagram. I might start up another Twitter account, or X as it's called, or I might not. I don't know. But yeah, I'll put all the descriptions and all that in the link. So until next time, stay safe and stay uncensored.